Yo, what up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, back bringing you guys some more daily NBA news and updates. We got a couple of things to talk about today, so let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. Let's go. If there was anyone on the Cleveland Cavaliers who I would have to place a bet on to take shots at Kyrie Irving, it would be J.R. Smith. He just seems like the type of guy that would do something like this. He's the type of guy that has basically no filter. He will tell you what he thinks. He just doesn't care. Which is why you shouldn't be surprised that yesterday he kind of took shots at his former teammate in Kyrie Irving. He was asked about the difference that Isaiah Thomas and Derrick Rose will bring to the team in compared to what Kyrie Irving brought to the Cleveland Cavaliers before, and like I said, he took a little bit of a shot at Kyrie Irving in his response.
I think they want to be here, and at the end of the day, when you got somebody who wants to be somewhere, and that can help obviously tremendously.
The man said they want to be here. That can help tremendously, implying that Kyrie Irving didn't want to be there. And the one thing that I think gets overlooked a lot about this whole Kyrie Irving situation is the fact the report said that he went days in the playoffs without even talking to his teammates. People are making a huge fuss that he didn't tell LeBron he was going to leave, didn't tell any of his teammates he were going to leave, but then completely overlooked the fact that the man went days in the playoffs without talking to his teammates. Look, if I'm LeBron James or anyone on the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving doesn't even need to come to me to tell me, yo, I'm about to dip, I'm about to ask for a trade, because I already know after you went days in the playoffs without talking to me or anyone else, I already knew you was gone. You had better be gone, because I ain't putting up with that. According to J.R. Smith, I guess that did hinder the team a bit, and I can see how it would. If you have the second best player on the team giving everyone the cold shoulder, it's not gonna help your chemistry on the court. That being said, Kyrie Irving not talking to his teammate for a couple of days wasn't the difference in the Cavs being the Warriors and not being the Warriors. Kyrie Irving could have been on the phone talking to his teammates 24/7 every single day, 9 days a week, and the Warriors still would have won the NBA championship last year. But I guess Kyrie Irving not talking to them didn't help the case either, and it will help that Isaiah Thomas and Derrick Rose want to be there. What'll also help the Cavaliers is that the Dwyane Wade signing is now official. Yes, you heard that right. Dwyane Wade is now officially a Cleveland Cavalier for a year, and this shouldn't have surprised any of you. I've been saying this was going to happen the past couple of days. You could tell when Dwyane Wade was sitting courtside at the Cavaliers game in the NBA Finals last year. You could already tell that he was going to find a way to get to the Cavs this upcoming season. Everyone knew it was going to happen. And now that the signing is official, the thought amongst a lot of the NBA fans is, well, if this Cavaliers roster right here can't put up a solid fight against the Golden State Warriors, then maybe no one can, because this team is absolutely stacked. Starting lineup, you got Isaiah Thomas, Dwyane Wade, LeBron James, Kevin Love, and Tristan Thompson. Seems pretty freaking good. And then off the bench, you got Derrick Rose, J.R. Smith, Jay Crowder, Channing Frye, and Ante Zizic. That's a great three players coming off the bench, three great players coming off the bench. That's three more great players coming off the bench than they had last year. Last year, they didn't have nothing. And you still got solid players like Channing Frye and Ante Zizic. So the Cavs did improve, no question about that. But there are some people who still think otherwise, who say, well, Dwyane Wade is cool, he's a nice big name and all, but he's not the same Dwyane Wade LeBron James do back in Miami. Dwyane Wade is washed up. He's 35 years old. He's injury prone. That's true. Dwyane Wade is 35. He is injury prone, but the man ain't completely washed up. He might not be prime D Wade. He might not be the same flash he used to be, but the dude still put up an easy 18 points per game last year. He still has a little bit of juice left in the tank. Same thing for Derrick Rose. People seem to think that Derrick Rose isn't his former MVP self, so he's just not good anymore. That dude still put up an 18 points per game last year too. Now, I don't think either Dwyane Wade or Derrick Rose will average 18 points per game on the Cavs this year, just because their roles will be much smaller on this Cleveland Cavaliers team. But even if you can get 12 to 15 points per game out of both of them, that's 12 to 15 points per game from each of them that the Cavaliers didn't have coming from those positions last year. No one on the Cavs was giving you anything close to 12 to 15 points per game off the bench last year. Now, J.R. Smith was giving you 12 points per game as a starting shooting guard, but now you move his 12 points per game to the bench as well, so They just got deeper, they got better, and that's all you can ask for in terms of making them stack up better against the Golden State Warriors. This is becoming like a yearly tradition. Dwight Howard gets a new team, fans think, oh, this is the year that the old D12 returns. We're about to see the old Dwight Howard. This team is going to bring out the best of Dwight Howard. He's still putting up good numbers like 13 to 14 points, 13 to 14 rebounds per game, but you know, we just want to see that prime, vintage, MVP candidate, defensive player of the year candidate, Dwight Howard. So every year he's supposed to return to his old form, but every year fewer and fewer people believe that is possible. I have a question for the people that do. How many of you have ever wondered why Dwight Howard keeps going from team to team? Why is it that every team he gets traded to or signs with as a free agent wants to get rid of him immediately after they get him? Ask yourself that question. Once again, it's not because he's not producing 13 to 14 points, 13 to 14 rebounds per game. Those are really, really solid numbers, but yet every team wants to get rid of Dwight Howard. Why is that? That has to be one of the biggest red flags, that a player that can produce on the court, yet no one wants you. That is a huge red flag. Apparently, it's because players don't like Dwight Howard. Check this out. Hawks players were screaming in jubilation after news of the Dwight Howard trade. The Hawks players were ready to throw a parade after Dwight Howard was traded after only one season. That was his hometown team too. His hometown team couldn't wait to get rid of Dwight Howard, even though he was putting up 13 to 14 points and 13 to 14 rebounds per game. That is not a good sign. But the question still remains, why though? Why does no one like Dwight Howard? Well, according to Zach Lowe from ESPN, no one really knows the exact reason, but I guess players have given a little bit of insight as to what it is that Dwight Howard does that they don't like. To ask why, and one account was that Dwight Howard would give these speeches before the game about how everyone is playing hard. We want unity. We want to go out and do all this great stuff and then go out and play a blah game where he demands post touches and doesn't rotate as hard as he could. And everyone's like, why are you speaking in the locker room? But that's all anecdotal. It's just crazy how these stories come out after every stop in his career. It's crazy how you hear about these type of things after every single team he plays for. Back in Orlando, it was with Stan Van Gundy. Dwight Howard and coach Stan Van Gundy didn't go along. The team trades him to the Los Angeles Lakers. Of course, in LA, we all know that him and Kobe were far from getting along, but it wasn't even Kobe, it was Steve Nash too. Dwight Howard didn't get along with Steve Nash. How is that possible? I don't know, because Steve Nash is one of the best teammates in NBA history, and yet Dwight Howard managed to somehow not get along with him. Then of course in Houston with the Rockets, he didn't get along with James Harden, and last year, I knew he didn't get along with Dennis Schroeder either, but after these reports that Hawks players were screaming in jubilation through the streets after Howard was traded, I guess no one on the team liked him. So clearly there is something seriously wrong that Dwight Howard is doing that his teammates do not appreciate. Maybe it is that he just constantly demands post touches, and when he doesn't get it, he pouts, complains, and kind of gives up on the team. That could be the whole reason, but now, of course, he's on the Charlotte Hornets, and once again, people are saying this is the return of the old Dwight Howard. I know I might sound kind of skeptical of this, but I believe if there is any situation that can make it work with Dwight Howard, it will be the Charlotte Hornets. Because the old assistant coach of the Orlando Magic back in the Dwight Howard days, Steve Clifford, is now the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. And Dwight Howard has said that Steve Clifford is basically the only coach that he's ever gotten along with. So maybe he can find some way to make Dwight Howard work in Charlotte. And for Dwight Howard's sake, it has to work out this year. If it doesn't work out with the Charlotte Hornets right now, Dwight's days in the NBA could be numbered soon, because even though he can produce, no team wants him. He could become like the new Josh Smith. Let me know what you think about all of this down in the comment section below. Does Dwyane Wade give the Cavs an even better chance of beating the Warriors in the NBA Finals this year? Let me know down in the comment section below. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a like if you did, and subscribe for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the Bucks, Team STC, and I'm out of here.